Cake by Derek a Snake, Chapter 5, Part C. I stroked his long brown hair and tucked it behind his ear, and then reached up and forced myself to kiss him. I surprised him with my actions. I know I did, because his eyes narrowed into slits as he looked at me. This was only part of my reward to him for protecting my family from my obvious stupidity. I suspected now just what my boss was capable of, the extent of his wrath. To be at the receiving end of it for a year is something I hadn't anticipated. I was so used to only thinking of myself and my own woeful predicaments that I never considered I might have endangered my family. But they were safe because of this creature. I might have been nothing but a big fuck-up, but my family did good, important work. And so, for them, I closed my eyes and angled my head the way Marcus liked it, sucking on the tongue that got poked into my mouth as he returned my kiss. I was getting whatever it was I fucking deserved. Apparently 800 times or so. Sex? Don't hurt me more than you have to. I can't take much more. Shall we start now? Do it. Fuck me. Drink me. Kill me. I have never expected to hear that from you, sex. Are you going to help, or are you just going to lay there and take it? This is your reward. I snaked my fingers into his hair at the back of his head and pulled him down on me. I kissed him hard, just how he liked it, and with more enthusiasm than I had ever shown my rapist before. I teased his lips open and tongue along his teeth. His fangs descended, and I purposely nicked my tongue on one of them. Blood flooded my mouth, and suddenly the kissing stopped. My world shifted as he spun us on the bed. I was now on top of him, and he was sucking on my bloody tongue like it was an extra thick milkshake. The entire organ was being pulled into his mouth. I could feel it straining at the root. My eyes bugged out. I tried to push back to make our faces lose contact, but his arms came around me and crushed me back to his chest. My brain was racing, trying to think up of a way to save my tongue. Eventually, I worked an arm free, reached up and tapped him twice between the eyes. It worked. I got his attention. He blinked and let me go. It's attached! I pushed a finger in past my pursed lips and ran along the tip of my tongue to check for damage. I was still bleeding freely, and my mouth was filling up with blood and spit, spilling out as I removed my probing digit. Let me. Marcus sat up, and taking my head between his hands, he began savoring my drool. Once the excess was clear, his tongue ran along my lips, pushing back into my mouth and flicking at the little cut. I reacted hard. My body may have taken a liking to him, but this was still so wrong. Not the sex, it was the blood. Maybe at the beginning I hadn't gotten anything but agony out of his possession, but he always made sure that I came, either by his hand or in his mouth. Deny it as much as I wanted, my body craved his when he wasn't with me. But the blood play that he liked, it scared me. His eyes glowed with a frightening red color whenever he got the scent of my life's blood. Just like now, and I hated it. The seeping blood in my mouth had finally slowed to a trickle, thanks to his ministrations, leaving behind the rusty, coppery, metallic taste that I'd gotten used to. I will suck you now. There was no damn way I was going to let those extended sharp teeth of his anywhere near my cock. I grabbed his hair and jerked his face back away from my nether regions. The reddened glow faded and the same brown eyes looked up at me. I shook my head and tried to blank my thoughts to block him out. His brow furrowed until I raised myself up on my knees and unbuttoned those awfully tight leather pants. I hoped he wasn't serious about keeping me in them. They were too damn hot and heavy. Marcus reached out and caressed my ass through the material. He liked them too much. He was already semi-hard when I kicked the pants free from my legs. I had learned real fast in the beginning of this madness that sucking the vampire off didn't hurt anywhere near as much as his jumping me while I was unprepared. I opted for giving him a blowjob as much as I could, and I must have gotten good at it because for the most part, when I took him in my mouth, he stayed there until he came. Sucking you off has saved my sorry ass many a night. But not tonight, my devious sex. I never suspected that of you. He wrapped a fist in my hair and dragged me up to his face. See why I am so fascinated with you? I am going to love you now. I am going to love you now the way you should have been loved from the very beginning. Are you ready, little one? As an answer, I pushed against his chest and sat up. This was his reward, and I couldn't believe I was doing it. But I was. I edged back and lifted my hips, while my left hand reached behind me and took a hold of him, my fingers positioning him at my portal. I watched his eyes change from questioning as I moved back to igniting to that horrible flaming red as the tip of his cock slipped into me. Tingling shot down my spine as I was breached, but this was not an unfamiliar sensation. It was just the first time that I had started it. I slid myself down his entire length and sat there, breaking out in a cold sweat. What am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I burst into tears. Not just the simple crying, but chest-heaving sobs. I started this, so I had to see it through. I lifted up until there was just an inch of him remaining in me, and then I thrust back down, hitting my prostate in the process. I must have been quite a sight, crying the tears of a little lost boy, interspersed with the heady grunts of manly pleasure as I bounced up and down on him. Marcus finally took pity on me and took over. His hands held me firmly, and his hips rammed up into me hard, rushing him to completion. He gasped as he finished and crushed me to his chest. Tears were still streaming down my face, but at least the body's shuddering sobs had stopped. You have given me a gift that I could never hope to match in return. I took your body a year ago. Tonight, you gave me your virginity, even though you're really confused about it right now. Virginity? What do you mean? I wasn't a virgin when you kidnapped me. I just never had gay sex before you. You initiated sex, my little one. You have never done that before. I do not care if you think it's payback for your family. I will take it as it was intended, as a gift, given freely, which makes it a virgin gift from you. I was bad at it. It was beautiful to behold. Your tears are breathtaking in their simplicity and purity. But you did not come. He reached down and tapped my traitorous cock. I shivered at his touch, but knocked his hand away from me. No, just get on with it. I am so fucked in the head right now. I can't even think straight. Just bite me. I think he was a little annoyed. He must have planned a whole world of sensual torment for me before killing me. And now it was all for naught. The situation had changed, and I was doing an unexpected payback, a thank you for saving my family. By the way, thanks for the cake. I haven't had sweets since you brought me down here, and I really miss them. That must have mollified him. He sat up more, forcing me back onto his lap. He took my knees and pressed them to his sides until I finally got the hint and locked my ankles behind him. Then gently, he ran his thumb over my lower lip. This will be a blood exchange. I will drink from you. You will drink from me. The first time will make you sick. Try not to throw up on me. I have seen it take as little as 3 exchanges all the way up to 20. I turned my head to expose my neck. I am truly sorry, little one. It has faded, but my bite is still visible. I fear that after this, you will always be scarred. It was worth it. My one last kick at independence. I thought I was ready, but then, fucking hell! He bit deeper than he has ever had before. It felt like a siphon was attached to my neck. He drank and drank. I could hear his gulps and slurps, and it was me that he was drinking. Shouldn't he be stopping now? It's getting dark. Stop. Stop now. And then there was nothing.